Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Bill and Peg's Bookish live stream.
How is everybody out there? Do we have anybody out there?
We're gonna see if anyone. Let's see here. We're just gonna chat for a little while and see if anyone shows up. Yeah, I know we changed the time, so.
Yeah, that's my fault. I take full credit for that. So don't blame Peg.
We're going to have a lot. Oh, there we go. Hi, Laverne.
Hey, Laverne.
Glad you can make it. Yeah, we'll just chit chat while we wait for a few more people to come through. How are you enjoying it's not even summer technically, right?
No, we've almost got a weekend. When I get to Tuesday, it'll be a full week of summer.
Okay.
Yeah, we got school all wrapped up. And it's just chaotic. I posted a video yesterday, and that was pretty much my first 5 minutes sitting there apologizing to everybody about chaos. But it's the way it goes.
Well, it wouldn't be life if it wasn't chaos, Bill, right? Just sheer unadulterated chaos.
Yeah. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. Welcome, everyone. Yep. We might have a small crew as we get closer to 3 o'clock. I think that.
Yeah. Again, it's my bad. We had a family member who had a birthday party, and we weren't sure exactly when the birthday party time was going to be, and so we're just kind of rolling with the punches right now.
Yes, we're blaming Bill's sister-in-law. So
yep,
she is persona non grata.
There we go.
All right, I'm just gonna welcome. Hello, is it Rianne or Ryan?
Hi, Rianne.
And hello from Brazil, Antonio.
Oh, yes, going international.
We're going international. Welcome, Antonio. All right, and from Utah.
All right.
Love it. I love how people are chiming in from where they're coming from. Maybe that should be something we do. We say like, "Hey, tell us where you're from."
I've got some teaching deals they do a live stream on, and it's absolutely amazing when they do those. Like all the different places around the United States, and sometimes outside of the United States, the people that chime in on those. And it's pretty amazing what the internet can do.
Oh, it really is. Maryland. Thank you, Glenn.
So we're covering the coasts. We've covered the hemispheres.
We've got the Netherlands, Bill.
Man, now we got another continent to add. Another state there.
Yep. Greetings to all of you from wherever you're coming from. Thank you for joining us. For our, it seems like every couple months we get one together, Bill. I know we talk about trying to get a monthly. It's just really hard with our schedules, and you're just busy with school and coaching, and you're home, taking care of the home and the family.
Well, and I was sitting there looking at stuff. My reading plan, not my reading necessarily, but my reading plan kind of fell off a cliff when it came to May. I was wanting to help Patrice in Military May, and I didn't get nearly as much done for that just because end of school, we had testing at the end of April, state testing. We had, I had track going clear till, the week before school went out, and it's just been pretty chaotic.
Well, since we're here, Bill, why don't you tell the good news about your coaching and what happened? Because Brian and I have been privy to all of that in Voxer. So
so I've been. Oh, now you make me go solo. I was very, very privileged to have a very talented group of girls on my middle school track team, and So in the state of Iowa, our middle school track, we are allowed to have 7 track meets for the season. That's kind of the limit. And on the 7 track meets, we won 5 of the 7 meets, and then got a second place and a third place in the two of the real big meets. So yeah, like I said, I was very privileged to have a very good group of girls. I had, we set a couple of school records throughout the season and scored a lot of points as a team. And we just had a really good season. I'm very proud of the girls, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. Thanks for letting me have some fun with that. I wanted to put you on the center stage. And
well,
say,
it wasn't me. It was the group of girls I had. Those girls they worked hard. They did everything I asked. They bought into, what I was trying to coach them, teach them. And it just all worked out really, really well.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy for them. That's such an accomplishment,
Mm-hmm.
So we're happy about that news. And now I have to get back to the comment screen. Okay, here we go. Yes, great record indeed. Laverne, we have Oklahoma in the house. Oh, sorry about the OK Thunder there, Angela. Not that as soon as the Pistons dropped out of the NBA playoffs,
Well, I haven't watched NBA since Jordan, so.
Well, there you have it. Well, apparently, Bill, the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks are going to the finals. So,
oh, all right.
I have no dog in that hunt.
Neither do I. As I said, mine's been out for a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, where should we begin? Just, do you want to start with? I know that we have a hard stop because you are going to this party today.
Yeah, unless I get a message. If my wife gives me a message that it's going to get delayed, I'll be able to stay for a little bit longer. So I've got the old text message ready to go.
Okay.
Just in case.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, I thought we could start with recent reads, right? And then then we can lead into current reads,
mm-hmm.
and then maybe future reads. But I'll start with you, and I'll put you on full screen so you can show your book and stuff.
Well, I don't have. Just hold on. You don't want my full face on there just yet. So I went back on my list because it's been since March, the middle of March, since we last spoke. And so I just kind of highlighted a couple of books that throughout that span that I thought were really good. I didn't bring all of them because in a pile, and I'm too wimpy to carry that much. But I did finish William Shire's The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, History of Nazi Germany, which was, obviously a little bit depressing at times, but I absolutely loved it. And I think I showed that book last time we spoke. Big old thick monster of a book.
Oh, yeah.
But William Shire, his ability to tell the story is absolutely fabulous. And of course, he was a journalist that was in Berlin for a lot of this. He saw it happening, firsthand. And I just thought it was a really good account to help me understand, stuff that was going on in Nazi Germany. Big book, 1,245 pages. So it took a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how long did it take you? Because, I keep meaning to start it. I have not read it yet, if you can believe it. I've read just about every other book about Nazi Germany, but not the classic. And I want to.
This one, and I read on this one pretty regularly. It took me 3 months to get through it.
Okay.
It was probably fast for me.
Well, that sounds like pretty fast for anyone.
Yeah, it's a huge book.
Yeah.
And now I was not doing any note taking or anything like that. That's part of why I was able to get through it a little bit faster. When I take notes, it takes me way too long. But another one that I got through was, and this one, I don't know if you've read this one, Barbara Tuchman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she wrote that fabulous book on the year 1914. What was it called? Help me out.
Oh, yeah, the Guns of August.
The Guns of August. Well, she also wrote The Proud Tower, a portrait of the world before the war, 1890 to 1914. And that one was absolutely fabulous as well, because she's just a great storyteller. But she just talks about what Europe looked like and the United States, but a lot of it was about Europe and that build up to World War I. And so that was a really, really good one.
Well,
What have you?
First of all, greetings to Brian the Crustic. I
Oh,
keep
yes.
meaning to ask him why he names himself that. Brian is our fellow buddy reader. So he might be chiming in with the book that we're all reading. But let me get back to Barbara Tuchman for a second, Bill, because it's so funny. I read The Proud Tower and The Guns of August in that order. Maybe, they were probably separated by a couple of years. But I loved The Proud Tower. And when I came to The Guns of August, I enjoyed it, but I almost found it less exciting for some weird reason. I just maybe had more to do with like the countdown to the approach to war and the telegram and then just. But The Proud Tower, she just painted this world, this picture of this world before this cataclysmic war.
Well,
and it was
able to go a little broader with it.
Yeah.
This is oh gosh, I keep going blank on the name of it. The other one, the 1914 one.
The Guns of August, yeah.
Yeah, The Guns of August, where she's got to, kind of zero in on stuff. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, but you're right. And it was enthralling. She kind of just captured a whole era in society. She covered a lot of the innovations going on, right? And stuff like that. Culture. It was interesting.
Well, I liked how she got into. She talked about the British Parliament and stuff that was going on in the British Parliament, and then compared that to stuff going on in the United States versus France versus. She kind of bounced around a little bit, and like I said, it was a little bit broader, and I enjoyed it. So here's my question: have you read? I think it's The First Salute. Is her one on the American Revolution?
Yes, ages ago. I really need to reread it.
Yeah. Did you like that one? Do you remember?
I did. I remember my mom loved it because my mom was always really more into the American Revolution and the Civil War. Yeah. And she really enjoyed it too. I do recall. So yeah, I liked it. Yeah,
that one's one that's I don't know if it's going to be. I'd like to get it this summer, but I doubt it because I have a huge list I want to get through this summer. Kind of a clean, kind of a cleanup list. But at least before the year's out, I want to read that one.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. Let me put up Brian's comment here for everyone to see.
Yep, and that was a good one.
I have not read that one yet, and I need to.
Brian, didn't we buddy read that one? Maybe, or you read it a lot faster than me, and then I had to come back and finish.
Oh, I just realized I forgot one of the books I wanted to show. Well, let's just jump in. Oh, so I guess it's my turn, right? Something recently read. Peggy's not prepared. No, you know what it is, Bill? I read so many books for review, and some of them just don't really fit in here. So I'm like, okay, do I weed out the fiction? Do I talk about okay, I'm looking at my review board and some of the reviews I've recently written. Tell you what, can you go next real quick? And I'm going to
sure.
I have to actually access my Kindle and see what it was that I read.
Yeah. If you're wanting to go off screen, I got a book this time.
I'm going off screen.
All right. So I had bought this, it was a couple of years ago, but it's Lexington and Concord, The Beginning of the War of the American Revolution by Arthur, and I'm going to butcher this last name, Tortello. I'm not sure exactly how to say that, but this was an excellent retelling of just the beginnings of the American Revolution. And it tells the classic story of, just what happened in the battle and, the build up to that. And the thing that I really, really liked was at the end of the book, how the author really talked about how the Americans were able to take advantage of the newspapers and play the, I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for, the help me out, Peg. Changing opinions.
What's going on?
Changing opinions. What do you call that in the newspapers?
Oh, the op-ed. What? You mean the editorial page?
Yeah, using the editorials to make it look like you're in the right. There's a word that I should know because I teach my kids.
Propaganda?
Propaganda. Thank you. Holy moly. But anyway, he does a chapter or two all about the propaganda and how the United States really won the propaganda war. And that was a huge advantage for them at the beginning of these battles and at the beginning of this war. And I really enjoyed this. It was well told. And if you've got time to sit down, it's something you can finish in a couple afternoons. Some of you that read way faster than me might probably can get it done in an afternoon. I'm just not that fast. I really enjoyed it. I spread it out over a couple of months, just a chapter here, a chapter there.
Okay.
I used it as my 20-minute SSR read at school there for about a month. And like I said, I'm a slow reader, so 20 minutes doesn't get me very far.
Oh my
But
gosh.
really enjoyed it. I highly recommend that one.
Okay. Excellent. All right. I do have one. I just remembered a couple I've finished. Okay. So this is kind of different. This book is coming out in a couple weeks. It's nonfiction. I'll go large because I got to show my my book here. Okay, so my review won't appear for at least until after this is published, but all right, we're gonna try this again. What am I doing wrong? We're gonna go. Oh, Bill, you think I know what I'm?
You're gonna scare away our audience.
I know. All right, now I'm doing this. Here we go. I'm going to scare away this audience. I do it all the time, Bill. Every time I make a video. Okay. So I recently read this book. It's called Gerontocracy in America. Subtitle, How the Old Are Hoarding Power and Wealth and What to Do About It. So this was an unusual read for me in that it's definitely like current events, kind of nonfiction, written by a journalist, I believe. Samuel Moyn is the author. He's a professor of law and history at Yale University. And basically, it just talks about how over time in the last few decades, older people have taken pretty much, well, look at Congress, right? They have aged out, but they're not leaving. And what does that do to democracy when you don't have young voices, when you don't have younger concerns, like people of a younger generation, when their concerns, when their issues are kind of ignored, and you just have the older folk at the table wanting to hang on to the power, wanting to hang on to the wealth, and they have all the let me use a big word here, appurtenances. I can't even say it right. Shouldn't have tried. But they have all the tools, right? They have, there was a chapter on here about the AARP, the biggest lobby for, retired folk. And it's just, it tries to walk the fine line of not being anti or being like ageist. But there's some difficult reading in here at times where they're like, well, how, the solutions he provides are like, really, you want to take away suffrage for older people? I mean, at a certain age, that's a little, there's some places where I think he goes a little too far, but I do appreciate him saying, look, at some point you have to retire and, and maybe go and retire. You can still have your causes and things that you're involved in, but damn, you got to let the younger kids going into, or young men and women who are going into politics, give them a chance. Because basically we're doing government just for old people's concerns and issues. And that's not good for a healthy democracy. So my review of that is coming out in Shelf Awareness in a few weeks, but it was interesting. Do you have any thoughts on gerontocracy, Bill?
Well, they do have a retirement It's called death.
Well, there you have it.
I'm sorry, that was terrible. This is coming from a guy from Iowa, and our very own senator. He's going to be in his early mid 90s when he retires, because he's not supposed to be running again after this next. He just got put back in that last election, and this is supposed to be his last time around. So I understand the argument.
You're dang right, Brian. It's time for the 60-somethings to rule. Yeah. Gen X, baby. Just kidding.
Brian also brought up another, he made the comment, you mean, and this is about that book I'd showed. He said, you mean the Brits really weren't eating their the pets? And the author actually brings up a ton of those stories, those propaganda stories, and brings in the facts. That would be, an example one, but also he talks about there were stories of women who were having that were pregnant and in bed about ready to have children, and they showed that wasn't true. The one that was the closest had her baby 19 days earlier.
Oh, wow.
And it was her 10th child. So staying in bed probably wasn't necessary. Yeah. And it talked about like just the amount of houses that got burnt down. That didn't, there were a couple, but not nearly as many as reported. So yeah, the propaganda machine was definitely full blast when it came to that battle. So anyway, enough about that book. I just wanted to make that comment. It did go over, the author did go over a lot of those stories. It was really good.
That's interesting. So he kind of makes it sound like the beginning of the war. It wasn't the Brits were still on like their best behavior, kind of.
I wouldn't say their best behavior, but not nearly as bad as what it was made out. And they didn't take things as serious as they should have. I think, Thomas Gage, I think, knew where it was going to head, because he had been in America for a while. He knew the direction it was going to head, but nobody back home was listening. And so they didn't take it seriously, where the Americans were not only taking it serious, but they were, 10 steps ahead when you talk about like propaganda and all that. So yeah. It was a good little book there. Not very long read either.
I'd like to check that out, because I'd like to read that and keep in mind some of the other recent American Revolution, books that I've read that talk about the just the violent, savage nature of it. And I think that started to happen as the war progressed, especially down in the southern areas and into the western interior, where then you had British versus American versus Native American, and there was like this revolving, just this maelstrom of savagery. And
played off of each other.
Yeah, and then the Civil War kind of between the Patriots and then the Loyalists. It really was a violent, savage war, but maybe in the very beginning, it was still kind of like, well, they didn't burn as many places as it was reported, and they didn't eat the pets. But
if you ever read Sam Adams's writings and what he did to the storyline, the narrative, I mean, he just took off with it. That's what he was really, really good at.
Propaganda.
Spinning a yarn, and he made sure there was going to be a war.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
He made sure everybody knew who the enemy. And I'm speaking from an American point of view. Sorry for any British people out there. He made sure who the enemy was at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He definitely would have been on. I was going to say Fox News or something. Sorry, I'm making jokes. You don't know. I'm trying to make a modern day equivalent.
Yep.
Nope, he would be the talking guy in CNN going, hey, man, these guys are. Yep. You can't let them. You can't
trust them.
You can't trust them. Well, speaking of the founding era. What was that?
Fake news, false news.
Fake news, false news, all of that good stuff.
Sorry, we're going to get kicked off the internet.
All right. Well, I have another book I recently read. It is also another book that is not out yet. When is this coming out? And June. So I forget when, but let me go large with, I think I'm doing it right now. Here we go.
Hey.
This is called The Lost Founder. James Wilson and the Forgotten Fight for a People's Constitution by Jesse Wegman. This is from Celadon Books. So there's a lot of, it's not super long, about 280 pages. This is about James Wilson. He was one of the signatories on the Declaration of Independence. I mean, he was around for a lot of these arguments, and I didn't know about his fall from grace. Well, but first, before I get into it, Bill, do you know anything about James Wilson? Have you read anything about James Wilson?
I have not read anything, but is he? Sorry, I'm grabbing something. Isn't he the secretary for the document?
Yes, you called it. Yep. And he, yes, he,
or am I off my rocker?
I should remember this, but I've read so many. I mean, he was he transcribed it.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. Well, so secretary, he definitely wrote it down. So he was a Scotsman. He was an immigrant. He came over from Scotland as a young man. Went to school in Scotland and then transferred over, or emigrated over, and he became like a very prominent legal mind. And in fact, like his biggest claim to fame, I suppose, is the fact that he kind of coined the phrase "we the people," and they think that's what was something that he had written earlier that used the words like, we the people, and was like separated by punctuation, but that Jefferson might have taken that as an inspiration for his own his writing of the Declaration of Independence. But apparently James Wilson influenced a lot of people. But he had a fall from grace. He had a weakness, Bill.
What was that?
It was land speculation. He just, it was a time where men were buying up tons of this, virgin wilderness territory. And he kept getting in over his head, speculation. He was trying to get loans from people. But, but before that went down the tubes, people knew he was doing this stuff on the side. But George Washington appointed him as associate justice, I think, to the first Supreme Court. Then his debts got to be like so exponentially, he couldn't pay them off, and basically he skipped town and ended up dying of malaria in a North Carolina tavern.
What's sounding a little bit like Lee, Light Horse Harry Lee.
Oh, yeah, because he went to like the Barbados or something, right?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like that.
Maybe not the exact same story, but similar.
Well, these men that had money or were new people who had money, they would get into these type of money-making schemes, and sometimes they were not above board,
Well, Washington included.
And Washington included, yeah.
I don't know how much you've read on that, but it is amazing how much land, because he was a surveyor to begin with, and he had surveyed a lot of that land out west. And when he came back from the French and Indian War, and then after the Revolution, he made sure he had his hands on all the land that was the most valuable, the stuff that was near the rivers and the best farmland, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's some spicy history in there somewhere, Brian. Okay, so you know what? I think that I know I've got more stuff, but it's like a variety of different indie fiction stuff I've read for review, and I don't want to bore anyone with that. I read a historical novel. I wasn't really keen on it, so I'd rather not. If I don't have a lot of good things to say, I'm not going to show it. So
I didn't grab it, but I did finish The Fate of the Day, the volume 2, Rick Atkinson's Revolutionary.
That's another trilogy I have to get into still.
Yeah, and that one, you talk about taking a long time to read something. I started that back on July 9th of last year.
Okay, so I don't feel so bad.
Sometimes I start stuff and it's good, but I get into other stuff and it just kind of gets put in a pile.
Yeah.
And I come back to it every couple months, and I'm
Yep.
terrible about that.
No.
My wife
Okay.
keeps doing that at my piles.
I should, well, I should take pictures. I'm looking at putting together, I bought a revolving circular bookcase to go in the corner of my room because it doesn't really fit a square bookcase. So
Mhm.
I might film me trying to put it together. But in my reading chair, by my big bay window in the master bedroom, which I love because the sun shines in, I've got 3 stacks of books that are all in
I don't feel
process.
bad anymore.
No, I mean, I've got like books for review. I've got deadlines. I'm like, I got to get these done. Then I have my buddy read books. And then I have other events, like Military May. I've got that stack.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've got a lot of stacks.
Yep, same here.
Do you want to go into or do you have more that you want to show as far as recent reads?
I'm good. We can go into current stuff.
Yeah, let's do that because I know your time is probably limited. So you want to go first or shall I?
Well, let's see here. All right. I am reading, and I'm a quarter of the way through it or so. And I've been working. I won't even tell you when I started this thing. It's embarrassing. But autobiography of Bill Clinton.
Sorry. Let me. Yep.
And it's interesting. I have always said that I don't like these kind of things, and then in the last year or two, I've read several of them, and I've read several recent, almost campaign biographies, and so maybe
Okay.
I'm getting out of my comfort zone and just trying some new stuff. But anyway, he just got married to Hillary. He's become the governor of Arkansas. And it's interesting when you get to learning about people's where they started from, where they come from, because it really really explains later on, because I would have only known him from his presidency. That would have been when I was middle school, high school, basically. And so I would have only known him from that. I didn't really, at that time, I wouldn't have been interested enough to go back and look at his early history. And so I'm learning quite a bit, and I'm enjoying it.
Interesting. Okay. So it's just kind of neat to read about. It's written in autobiographical,
or a memoir, if you want to call it a memoir. It's a big book. It's almost 1,000 pages. It's big. So so I can kind of laughingly date this. I got that book. I bet I got it 17, 18 years ago. I started it, and then I put it down, and I'd pick it up, put it down, and then it got put down for a long, long period of time. And then last year I picked it, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I was like, I'm going to get this read. And so, yeah, sometimes I take a while on some books.
Yeah. I figure, there's with history or biography or autobiography, to me, there's no time frame, it just won't, it's timeless.
And it's one of the good things about not having deadlines. Like you've got deadlines. You got to have them read. I can put it down and move on to my next next whim.
Your next whim. Indeed. All right. Well, I'll show you the book I'm reading currently. And please, everyone in the chat, we'd love this to be, shoot your questions to us. Tell us what you're reading right now. We want to hear from you guys. This chat is for you and for us to engage with you. It's not just me and Bill out here, right, Bill?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm reading this right now. Let me go large. This book is coming out June 9th. This is called Centennial: The Great Fair of 1876 and the Invention of America's Future by Fergus Bordwich. I've read a couple of this gentleman's books. His previous book on it's called Clan War. Clan War. It was about how Ulysses Grant went to, war against the Klan in the South during Reconstruction. And that was a fantastic book. I am reviewing this for an outlet, and so it's a very slim book. I have less than 100 pages to go. I plan on knocking this out later today. But essentially, it's he's tying in this amazing fair, the centennial, the exposition of 1876, the Great Centennial Exhibition of 1876, which attracted 10 million Americans to Philadelphia. And what he does is he frames like the history of how the event came about, but not so much that as the four people he selects as protagonists to kind of tell his story about America's, where it was at in 1876 and what its future could look like. So he chooses a very eclectic mix of people. Let me take myself off of there. He chooses to cover Rutherford B. Hayes, because that kind of covers that very contentious election of 1876, which, yeah, he's covering like the Republican National Convention, the Democratic National Convention. Then he covers Alexander Graham Bell, covering the massive introduction of just the telegraphy, and then of course his ability, to the patenting of the telephone, and what he displayed at the fair that was just blowing people's minds. Interesting, a guy I never heard of before, a railroad magnate called Tom Scott. He was like the Pennsylvania Railroad president, CEO, whatever, but this guy was, he was like a tycoon and really kind of helped put the Centennial Expedition together. And then finally, an African-American sculptor and a woman, Edmonia Lewis, whose sculpture of the death of Cleopatra really raised eyebrows at the exhibition. And of course, a lot of this is infuriating, especially when Fergus, the author, kind of covers just the discrimination that Edmonia faced. She was at her exhibit. People were just so rude. And she had worked in Europe, in Rome, in Italy, where race was not a thing. Like, she was treated like a human being and she was considered an artist. Then she comes over for this exhibition to show her work. And, it's just like, God.
Yeah, the treatment wasn't very good.
No. And even in Philadelphia, it didn't matter. It was just like it's just that residue, that not even a residue at the time. It was very prominent. There's still a lot of racism in 1876. I mean, it was prominent. We know that.
It was extremely prominent. That's why Grant was battling the KKK.
That's right. So anyway, he's kind of framing it through 4 different lenses. It might be too much to do in a book that is almost 200 pages. So it's pretty short. I think it might be just kind of a fun read if you want to learn more about the Centennial Exhibition. And this is by Knopf Publishers. Anyway, this will be out June 9th. And that's one of the books I'm reading currently.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So Brian says he.
I want to read that.
Yeah, the Black Death. You guys were talking about that one in the comments on Voxer.
I have written the publisher. I have said, could I get a review copy of the Black Death? Because that is, I don't know why these things appeal to me, but they do.
That happens.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's just like, whenever you think you've got it really bad, just look back in history. Someone always had it worse.
Yep. Well, and that was one of my, in the wake of the plague, the Black Death and the world it made. That was one of the books I finished early in May. And the Black Death is just an interesting subject. It
is.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you got?
All right. So my next one, and you will appreciate this. Matter of fact, you may have already read this one, but the personal memoir of Ulysses Grant.
Yes.
This was part of my military May because one of the prompts was read a memoir. And so he is, what am I, about 3/4, 4/5 of the way, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and this is actually cool. Our local public library was cleaning out the stacks, and this is one of those. I'm guessing they were given to all the libraries, or everybody ordered them anyway. And it's
Mm-hmm.
a volume set of his memoirs. Now it's in pretty crappy condition, I will admit.
What's the year? Like, when was that? Who published that?
Well, this was right before his, or no, it'd been, was it right after his death? He was finishing writing it on his deathbed.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't around to see the sales.
Yeah, Mark Twain helped him get it finished, helped him get it going.
Yeah.
1885 is the date for this book. It's from Charles L. Webster and Company.
So that's the first edition? Is that what
I think so.
you have got?
I don't quote me on that. I'm not very good with figuring stuff like that out. I think it may be.
Okay.
So
That's a keeper right there.
yeah, my plans are, what I'd really like to do is get the Library of America box set with Grant and Sherman's memoirs. I've
Mm.
recently seen that one, and it's really, really tempting, but you got to pay a little money for it, and you know how cheap I am. So,
Well, I do have that in the Library of America edition, but I have to say, as much as I love the LOA volumes, they're small books.
yeah,
So
Prince,
I like a big book like that where it kind of just, it's just large on the page. And
here's the problem.
oh no, is it falling apart?
Oh, you see it there? Yeah,
Yep.
it's got a split seam there, and then I mean, if you
Mm.
open it up, it's pretty rough on the.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I was to hold it like this and be loose with it, I don't know if anything would fall out. But it's still really neat to have. I'd like to put it on the shelf as a book that doesn't get moved around. Yeah, I don't know if you have books like that.
Yes.
It's
Totally.
not my reading copy. I would like it to not be my reading copy.
Yeah, I can see where, the LOA would be a great reading copy. A book like that, if you were interested, I would almost even see if there was a bookbinder that could, do some rehab to that.
That might be a better idea.
It's an idea. They
Yeah.
could take care of it for you. Speaking of the memoirs of Grant and Sherman, I noticed the other day, I was browsing Hamilton book, and I realized that Belknap Press, which is an imprint of Harvard University Press, they just released an 1,100 plus page annotated edition of Sherman's memoirs.
Cool.
And I know, and I have both Sherman's and Grant's memoirs in the LOA. My goal right now is I want to get both the annotated edition of Sherman's and Grant's. The annotated edition of Grant's has been out for a little while. It's about a $30 book, and that's marked down on Amazon. But and this memoir, this Sherman memoir, it's like 30 or 40 bucks. But I would love to have an annotated edition to kind of go by as well as I'm reading the memoirs. I think that would be fun.
Well, the box set of the two guys' memoirs was on sale. I think today's the last day on the Library of America site for $50.
Yeah.
For the two. And I would love to do that, but my wife would smack me.
Oh no.
But anyway, yeah, I am, let's see, this morning they were outside of Vicksburg, and they were in the process of laying siege to Vicksburg.
Okay.
Where I'm at in the story, in the book.
Okay.
And it's very good. I mean, it's what I really love about it is Grant has such a simplistic way of telling the story. He gives you all the details, but even a moron like me can understand it. I love that. He doesn't speak over my head.
Well, I think it wasn't a Mark Twain that kind of saw Grant's writing ability and said he is one of the most, fluid, clear of thought, just he's innate writing skill,
Yep.
And people have said that for decades after his death and still do that. He was a wonderful writer. just very clear, and that's what you want. You don't want all that flowery stuff.
Well, and on top of that, I read Ron Chernow's biography on Twain, and it really hit. And then I've also read his one on Grant, and he really hit on how Twain felt he got ripped off by the publishers. And he felt that because he wanted to be able to provide for his family, have the royalties, be able to provide for his family after he was dead. And he kept living. He lived so long that the royalty, it wasn't playing out very well. There wasn't going to be a lot of money left over. So he found ways to get around the system to renew the what do you call it? The 70,
copyright, or the
70-year period.
Yes.
And I can't think of what that's
rights, or the
copyrights.
Yeah.
So he kept finding ways of getting around the copyright to renew the copyright. And I am taking it that he saw this skill in Grant, and he knew Grant, he had lost all his money. That was part of the reason he was in hyperdrive to get the memoirs done. He was dying of cancer, and he didn't want him to get ripped off like that. And I mean, that's what I'm taking it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm interpreting that wrong, but
no, he was a good friend. He was a good friend to Grant himself and the family. And so, I mean, there was a friendship there for sure. And he was trying to protect him. But yeah, Grant was just a little too trusting of some people close to him, and he suffered the consequences of just people. I mean, he would take people at their word. And it's just like not knowing that, because he was a man of his word, and he was a truth teller, and there's so many people out there that weren't,
Well, he put all his eggs in one basket, so to speak. And
that's right.
It cost him.
That's right. Should we make a mention that we are still working on this one?
That was the next big book in the stack.
That's for both of us, guys. We're both working on this book.
Yep. And Brian's involved in it also.
Yep.
And I think we have finagled Brian to get in on our video. Right?
Yeah, Brian, you got to show up for the next book chat video or a live stream if you want.
Yep.
And that was the book I forgot to pull, but if you have it for the future read, we know what our future buddy read is. And I think you showed it on your last video, but but we're over halfway through this I won't say a beast of a book, because I just love it. I'm loving rereading this. It's been fantastic.
Just to save myself a Voxer chat, Brian, I saw your messages for chapter 16. I do have chapter 16 and 17 done. I just need to leave the message. And just for all of you out there, Brian, he's impressive. He actually has already finished the book, and he's going back for Peg and I's purposes and rereading the chapters.
He's such a good guy. He's like, you guy.
But we are, 16 was talking about getting ready for the Emancipation Proclamation, and 17 was Antietam.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one. So guys, after this live stream, I've got an errand to run, but then I'm going to plop down in my reading chair for the rest of the day. I did start 16. So anyway, I will be leaving a message as soon as I can on that.
Yep.
Also, and I feel like I'm cramming now because I've got to make sure we have enough time for everything, Bo. But
we got 30 minutes. We're good.
Okay. Well, I'm still reading this for Military May. Let me go large real quick. Preeminent Strategist. This is all about Joe Johnston, Joseph Eggleston Johnston, the Confederacy's most agile general. In my last, I don't know if it was my last video, but it was the video where I talked about Military May books, and I mentioned this author, F. Gregory Toretta, and I had looked in the back, and I'm like, oh, he's got a book on Longstreet.
Oh, nice.
Well, guess what? I was walking by my bookcase, and I found it the other day. And I'm like, I have both of his books. So I'm going to finish reading this one, and I want to read how he handles Longstreet. But yeah, this one, I'm already into the Civil War now, and I tell you, it doesn't get it. one of the interesting things is Joe Johnston always seemed to be getting injured, which says one of two things. To me, number one, it was like he wasn't afraid to lead from the front,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then, or second thing is he had the worst luck imaginable because, I mean, it was that injury in the 7 Days battle that took him out of the game, took him out of the East, took him out of like command of the Army of Northern Virginia, and elevated Lee, and the rest is history. But then I'm like, but how badass is that? This guy was always getting injured. He got injured in the Mexican American War. He got like shot 3 different times. He got lightly injured earlier on in the war, and then this debilitating injury in 7 Days. And it's just like, this guy was not afraid to be out there, which I respect.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive. So working on those.
All right, I got a couple fiction that I'm working on, and
all right, let's do it.
I believe both of these would fall into the fiction side of Military May. That was the idea. So I'll start with the one I'm furthest along in.
Okay.
I'm about half done with John Steinbeck's The Moon is Down, and it is kind of a piece of propaganda that he wrote at the let's see, what year was it he wrote this? It was during World War II. I don't remember what exact year it was. Didn't exactly receive a great reception to start with.
Okay.
1942 is when it was written, but it's all about a conquering nation coming in and the reactions to that conquering nation, and are you a sympathizer or not? So I think it really looks heavily at what was going on in like Denmark.
I see. So it's set in Denmark?
What? Where is it set? Oh gosh. You would think I could answer that. I think it's an imaginary country, but it's based on like the background is World War II, like with the idea of World War II going in. I'll be honest. I want to say it was a made up place. Now you're making me feel silly. I should know that.
Oh no. Well,
are you looking it up?
Again, let's see. The Moon is Down. Let me get there. I had not even really heard of that book.
It was one I was at Barnes and Noble.
Norway. Set in Norway.
Set in Norway. Okay. So I was wrong. Sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, it really gets into the idea of being a collaborator and stuff like that, and pretty interesting so far. And I found it at Barnes and Noble on accident. I was actually looking for a different book, and I saw it, and I had the money for it, so I was like, yes, because I like John Steinbeck, and I've been trying to collect his works as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's the story behind that.
Excellent.
So Military May, that was my fiction side.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the second one, I'll go ahead and throw that one out there, and you'll appreciate this one. A Blaze of Glory, Jeff Shaw.
Yes.
So reading this one, I have several of the World War II ones. I don't know that I need to look. I don't know if I have any more from this series for the Civil War.
Okay.
But I'm not even far enough along to really tell you other than it's going to be getting into Shiloh. Of course, you can read that right on the title.
Yeah. Jeff Shara, he wrote I'll say they're not related to each other, but he has like I don't want to call it a trilogy, but a cycle of books that are set in the Western theater of the Civil War. And that's one of them.
Yep.
I think Valley of Thunder or something like that, or Chains of Thunder or something is one of the others. And I think it covers Vicksburg.
Mm-hmm.
But and as you know, he's got a new Lincoln book coming out this fall, and I'll be reviewing that too for Historical Novels Review. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get my hands on that book.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can get you a copy or something. I'll hook you up. I just was asking some folks in the chat if what they're reading. Oh, let me post this quote. I had the galley of that book. Was this Meg? Hi, Meg. I just finished The Filling Station by Vanessa Miller, a novel about the Tulsa Massacre. And for nonfiction, a biography on John Buford. That's
Nice.
our guy. That's our Calvin. We, you know what? It's funny. We were just talking on Voxer about the differences in cavalry in the Civil War. In the beginning, how the Southern cavalry was just the cream of the crop, but the Federal cavalry really took their licks, and they learned. And I think, and I was going to mention this on Voxer to answer your question in Voxer, Bill, about the cavalry. And I think we did start to turn the corner. The Union cavalry did around Gettysburg, because it was Buford who, kind of slowed down that Confederate advance into the city, and gave enough time for General John Reynolds to bring up his division and to hold the town. So, yeah.
Well, and how dumb am I when I was mentioning George Custer out on the was it day 2 or 3 when he met the Confederate cavalry and they were trying to circle around the right flank, and he's outnumbered 10-1, and I'm telling that in the Voxer, and I completely forgot about John Buford.
Well, yeah, but Custer was in it though. He was there, man.
Yeah.
And really it was, and I have another message I want to share with you guys. I know a relation, not by blood, but by marriage. And it was one of the Union generals in the Union cavalry. And I researched him a while ago. His name is David McMurtry Gregg.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, so that was my thing. It's like not related by blood, but by marriage. And I was so geeked because I'm like, I know I've got a relative in the Union cavalry. But he was an outstanding commander, and he didn't get a lot of recognition because he just did his job. He wasn't a showboat. He was one of these guys that just showed up and did it. And anyway, but someone wrote a biography on him, and I need to get to it and feature it on this channel. Okay. All right. Next up. Now this is fiction that I'm reading right now, but I also plan on showing it to you guys for June. Not June. Bill, are you going to be participating in June on the Range? Whoop. All right. Woo!
That was my next one. Go ahead.
Well, I'm so excited to bring this book to your guys' attention. This book is coming out July 7th from Grove Atlantic, and I'm almost halfway through, and it is blowing me away. Talk about an epic Western. I'm going to go large. Keep an eye out for this book, guys. The Beauty of the Days Gone By Jason Stone. This is his first novel. This is a galley, obviously, but this thing, it's based on, do you mind if I just read to you the description real quick?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So this is inspired by real events. An epic Western novel about a legendary cattle rancher and a family torn apart by the violent struggle between Texans, Comanche, and Kiowa in the aftermath of the Civil War. So it starts in 1866. On a sun-drenched stretch of West Texas prairie, the Terry brothers are playing idly near their family ranch when a Kiowa war party descends without warning. Their father, former Texas Ranger R.L. Terry, returns to a scene of devastation. His home in flames, his wife mortally wounded, and his 2 sons carried off into captivity. With the help of his close friend, the trailblazing cattle rancher Charles Goodnight, Terry spends years scouring the frontier in a desperate search for his boys, while his eldest son, his hopes of rescue fading, adapts to a new way of life under the tutelage of the legendary Comanche chief Quanah Parker. The narrative moves between the brutal post-Civil War frontier and the 1920s. So it's a really interesting mix of how it kind of jumps around through time as the stories are told. Where a 90-year-old Goodnight, nearing the end of his life, reflects on his role in shaping the West. His days blazing the Goodnight loving trail and helping settle the land once known as Comancheria during the calamitous clash of cultures that defined the American West. So it's inspired by contemporary journals, testimony, and historical records. And already on the blurb, they're kind of comparing this to in the tradition of Lonesome Dove and Blood Meridian.
Nice. How
You
big?
think you'd be interested in reading something like this, Bill?
Well, it's a possibility. I wrote down the title. Now I'm getting the author.
Well, stay tuned on that front. I am loving it.
How many pages is it?
Okay, it is
Bigger one.
466 pages. I mean, it's almost 500 pages. But I have to say, just from it's graphic. I mean, it talks about the violence quite graphically. He pulls no punches about how it was to be attacked by a war party, a raiding war party, and the Comanches they didn't play. You know, the Comanches, and well, although the Kiowas were really kind of brutal. But anyway, I don't want to give away too much, but this is amazing. And so I'll talk about this again too in my June on the Range video, because I have another Western, another massive Western. I love big Westerns that really just draw you in, kind of like Lonesome Dove, you know?
Well, I read Lonesome Dove a long time ago. I want to reread it, but I keep getting too many other piles going. But I did start, was that last year or the year before? I started reading the other books in the Lonesome Dove series.
Yes.
What was the first one?
The Streets of Laredo?
Is that the first one? I get the titles mixed up, but I read the first one that introduces McCall and what's it?
Gus.
Yeah, that introduces the characters and tells their backstory.
Okay.
In the middle of in Lonesome Dove, you're kind of put in the middle of it. So yeah, it was really good.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm just the third one read.
Okay. American Prometheus, is that about Robert Oppenheimer? Is it Robert?
Yeah, I'd ask that. He just did that. Yeah,
I have that book. I bought the paperback of it recently because I thought I had the hardcover and I can't locate it. So I'm like, I think I have another book on Oppenheimer. But so then I got American Prometheus because everyone raves about that book. So yeah. Oh, hi, Ben. Ben is making it. Oh, is he, or did he have to leave? He had to go to a.
Well, he just showed up.
Yay!
Yeah. Congrats to your daughter. Was it your daughter? Was it a daughter? Just your youngest. Okay. Yep. So congrats to your child for graduating.
Yes. Dead Man's Walk Laverne thinks that might be the first with Gus and Call, maybe?
Yeah. Then that's the one. If that's the first one, that's the one that I read.
Okay.
Yeah. And they meet the Native American duck. What was his name?
Oh, Blue Duck.
Blue Duck. Thank you. Yeah. And you get to seeing how that dude's messed up.
Yes.
And you get his backstory and everything, and he's messed up.
There's kind of a guy like that in here. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Blue Duck. I remember that. So current reads. I think I'm ready to move into books I'm just about to start.
Okay, I've got one I'm starting tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Because it's June on the Range, people. You're supposed to be reading Westerns, at least read one. So, of course, I've got piles of books, so I don't know how many Westerns. I don't want to make a whole video about Westerns I plan on reading, and I'm not going to end up reading them. I do that. I feel like I do that a lot, and I feel bad about it. But the one that I am starting 100% sure tomorrow, and I will get through it because it's 119 pages. It's tiny. But I remember my dad watching this movie. He loved the movie. And watched it on Saturdays when it was, Westerns on Saturdays. That's what we always watched. And over the last couple of years, it seems like everybody's been reading this book. And I had found it a couple of years ago and bought it because I remember Dad watching the movie, and I would have watched a little bit of it with him too. But I was like, I got to read that, but I have put it off and put it off and put it off. But I am definitely starting it tomorrow.
That's it.
And then I'm going to read a Louis L'Amour. I don't know which one. And I'm going to read a Zane Grey. I don't know which one. I have a couple options on the shelf. I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to just see how many I can get read. I'll start this, and as soon as I get it done, I'll immediately start another one, and we'll see.
Yeah. Well, if this makes you feel any better, Bill, I'll make a video and I'll have a stack of Westerns, and I may not get to all of them. I don't feel bad.
Okay. Well, maybe I should do it then.
I mean, the intent is there, but also you're helping someone else maybe get a reading idea, you know, like if they're not, you know what I mean? It's not like you have to.
No harm.
It's your channel. You can do what you want to do. And like, I'm going to say, hey, this one is a book I'm reading. I will finish this. I need to finish it actually in the next 3 or 4 days because I have to submit a review on this one soon. But I'm looking over here at a bookcase to my left, and I've got all my Louis L'Amour paperbacks, all my yellowed paperbacks from when I was a kid, and I'm going to pick one of those because I haven't read a Louis L'Amour like since the last June on the Range, and I'd like to. And then I kind of made a purchase, but I'll show that on my June on the Range video. But I was tempted, and people are talking about it, but it's a big book. It's over 1,000 pages, Bill.
And it's a Western?
Yes.
Wow. You don't see too many Westerns that are real big like that.
You don't.
Unless it's oh gosh, Lonesome Dove. Who wrote it?
Larry McMurtry.
Unless it's a Larry McMurtry book, you don't really see Westerns. They're usually, a couple hundred pages and that's it.
Yes. Can anyone guess what this book might be? It's a brand new release.
I have no idea.
All right. I'll see if anyone can guess it. And if not, maybe I'll do a sneak peek. I might show it to you. Okay. So here's some of the books that I will be reading in the next couple weeks. I'm going to be reading this slight little guy for a book review because I'm always fascinated about Hiroshima. This is Hiroshima 815, The Lost Memoir by Kiyoshi Tanimoto. This is put out by Modern Library. It's coming out early August, right around the date of the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima. It's basically what it says it is. It's like I said, I haven't started it yet. This is about Tanimoto was a 36-year-old Methodist minister. He rushed back to the city center in search of his wife and infant daughter, and he encountered unimaginable devastation. And this is all about what he saw. So, and this is a Tanimoto's never before published firsthand account of the bombing of Hiroshima, written in the immediate aftermath in his own words. So that's going to be kind of harrowing. A little slim volume, 150 pages. So
is that anything like John Hersey's Hiroshima?
Probably. I mean, Hersey was writing about like what he saw right after, but I think this is like right after though. I don't think it's like Hersey came in like days after or this is like as people were in the process of dying probably. Okay. So
I'm getting ready on Hersey's Hiroshima.
Yes, I have it in a paperback. Like I read that a while ago, and I think I need a reread because I don't remember much of it. But I should say that there's a very large introduction. So the introduction is this long right here already. So it's a very long intro, and then you get the meat of the memoir. Okay. It's still about 150 pages, but so I'm going to be starting that this week. All right, back over to you, and then we'll go back and forth.
To be honest, that's all the books that I brought. But I will tell you a couple just right fast because I am going to have to drop out of the chat here pretty soon.
Okay.
Get her because we got our 3 o'clock. I just texted. It's going to be starting at 3.
Okay.
Anyway, a couple of things that I was really wanting to get done this next month. I want to get Ulysses Grant's Volume 2. I want to get that. I want to get through that whole thing. I also wanted to start, and I got to think of the author's name. Alan. It's the Civil War.
Alan Nevins?
Yes, Alan Nevins' series, and if not this month, next month, through the summer, I wanted to start working on that. I've
Okay.
got it kind of set up on the shelf, ready to go, so I don't forget about it and put it to the side again. But I really want to get through that. I've been kind of on a Civil War kick, and then the other one that's at the top of the stack to get started is Bruce Catton's History of the Civil War. It was what was the publisher?
Oh yeah, who was this publisher? It was
Not Time Life. I'm going blank. It was one of those. It was like Time Life.
Oh, I know. American Heritage.
American Heritage. That's it. And so I'm going to be getting going on that here real fast.
Okay.
Got one or two books I got to get finished first, which will happen in the next day or so, and then I'm going to start that up.
Do you have time for me to show one more book that might be of interest to you before you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry about time.
No problem. I might hang out just a little longer if that's cool.
Oh, that's fine. I understand.
Okay. Just for anyone else, if you're interested in the last few books that I'll be starting, I can show you. But this one I think might be also of interest to Bill. So let me show you real quick. I'm reading this book because I'm going to be joining a book club on Substack for that historian I told you about, Bill, that Kevin Levin.
Yep.
Who's also has a new book coming out on Colonel Robert Gould Shaw in September.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he hosts these book clubs for members of his Substack. I'm like a paid member. It's like $40 a year or something, and it's well worth it. He writes these fabulous Civil War columns almost daily. But we're going to be covering this book by Heather Cox Richardson that I have not read yet, and this is How the South Won the Civil War: Oligarchy, Democracy, and the Continuing Fight for the Soul of America.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's going to be I don't know if she's going to come on at the end of the segment. I think he knows her, but anyway, as a group, we're going to come together and discuss this book. I've always been interested in this, and I've talked about this before, Bill, how I feel like, yeah, the Union won the war, but I feel like the South won the peace.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In certain ways, and maybe just because Reconstruction failed and we didn't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be starting this because we're meeting June 14th. On his Substack. So it's not a large book, but probably 200 pages. So, but I'm intrigued. I really want to read this. So I bought a copy kind of used secondhand, and it looks great. So,
well, I believe if you look at the "I Have a Dream" speech, Martin Luther King Jr. would have agreed with you.
Yeah. Did he say that in the speech?
Well, he said that there was a promissory note written that has not, we haven't cashed this check yet. And
we haven't.
Or it's a check that, oh gosh, now I'm going to butcher it. It's a check that's bounced basically and has come back void.
Yes. Yeah.
I know I'm not wording that correctly, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up though. Thank you for mentioning that, because you're right. I mean, it's clear as day to the civil rights activists and speakers that like Martin Luther King Jr. That was just something that never really got finished. And it took me a while in my Civil War studies and reading to really just accept the fact that we won it, but man, we threw away
threw away an opportunity.
Yes, and that it really chaps my hide. I'm like, so many men died. And was it all for naught?
Yeah.
I don't think it was all for naught, but it's like this effort that continues. It's like we're not in a civil war like we were then, but we're still working these things out, and there's still tension.
Still a lot of tension. Yep.
Yeah. Well, hi, Dave. You're about ready. Sorry, Bill's about to leave you soon. You're going to be stuck with my mug for a few minutes.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me on. These chats are always the best part of my weekend, and always enjoy it, and enjoy listening to everybody in the comments. And now we're getting comments I got to answer real fast.
I know, it's like now he's got to go.
Got any baseball history coming up? I have a couple of ideas, but I didn't bring them with me. How about this? I will do a reading update video on my channel, because hopefully I can kind of get those going. I've got the honeydew list nearly knocked out at home now that summer has started, and so I should have some time to do that. But I will show you what my next baseball book's going to be. So thank you, everybody, and glad you were able to join us. And Peg, like I said, always a joy to be on here with you.
Well, let's do it again real soon, since we didn't, you kind of had to rush towards the end.
Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow?
Hey, I'm going to work.
I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll get back and we will try to make this sooner rather than later.
Yes. Guys in the chat, this is what's going to show me how many people show up for you and how many people. Because when you bounce off, I'm going to see the people are not going to leave me. Because you're the man, Bill.
Got to stay on. Stay with Peg. She's what is it? Steve Donahue always says he's.
Oh, there's Patrice.
Keep your eyes on the prize. That's Peg, not me.
No. I know Patrice won't leave me, right, Patrice?
Hey, Patrice.
Yeah, Bill's got to run off to a birthday party, unfortunately. So.
Yep, we got what is he, 6? I think he's 6. Right. I might have that wrong. Hopefully they don't watch this.
No.
Hopefully they'll watch it and I got it wrong. So.
Well, I've got a few of you guys staying with me. Thanks, Patrice. Thanks, David. All right, Bill, we'll talk soon, okay?
Yep, we'll talk to you later.
All right.
Till next time. Oop, happy reading.
All right, bye-bye. Well, everybody, it's you and me. Just for the next few minutes. I've got 25 people watching, and I'm waiting for that number to drop. But anyway, okay, no. This is fun. Who knows? Maybe I could do a live stream just by myself sometimes. I love talking with Bill. He's just so great. He gives so many interesting, keen insights into our buddy reads when we're doing history. Being a history teacher, I benefit so much from reading books with him and talking. And of course, he's a big Civil War fan like I am. So that it's bonus. So I just want to finish up with a couple more books that I'll be starting to read soon. And they're just so you know that they are not, it's not a comprehensive list, because like I said, I do a lot of other reading. I do a lot of fiction reading and reviewing. So, but this book came up. It's coming out in August. And if you like ancient history, I think you might want to know about this book. I need to actually start reading this, if not today, I want to start it tomorrow. This is Cicero's Tongue, The Life of Rome's Greatest Orator and the End of the Republic by Catherine Edwards. This is being put out by St. Martin's Press. So nice, kind of big, beefy book, guys. I got the galley, and I'm really excited because they're calling this a new biography on Cicero. And if you'd like, I don't know if you guys want to hear. Oh, hi, Carmen. Yes, please rewatch the stream. I'm sorry you missed Bill. We had a very limited window. I had to change the time a couple of times, not just one time, because his plans had to change. So we had to bump it up earlier. But yeah, watch the replay or the recording once I go off live stream. Oh, and thank you, David. Thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. Love all you guys who are out there right now. Okay, so Cicero's Tongue. Let's see here. It's a new biography on Cicero. And so where does the tongue come from? Let me tell you. So when the great Roman orator Cicero was murdered in the autumn of 43 BC, his tongue was seen as such a powerful weapon against his enemies that Fulvia, the wife of Mark Antony, had it cut out of his severed head and pierced with pins. So Marcus Tullius Cicero, however, was more than a brilliant orator. So let's see here. He was born on January 3rd, 106 BC, and was assassinated on December 7th, 43 BC. The arc of his life almost perfectly mirrors the decline and fall of the Roman Republic. His actions and reactions to the rising tyranny of the world around him continue to fascinate and inspire today. And then it goes into like his life was full of peaks and troughs, uncertainty and scandal. So, yeah, I can't wait to read this. It's been a while since I've read anything about Cicero. I've got a few, I've got his works, most of his works. Well, it was a Folio Society edition of Cicero's, was it his, I forget what it was called, like his speeches or his essay, something. I have a nice, it's like a purple bound book that Folio Society put out. But I also have, I think is it Anthony Everett was a biographer. He wrote a series of books on ancient Rome, and I loved his book on Cicero. But it's been a while since I've read a biography on Cicero, so this will be an interesting read for sure. I think I'm reviewing this for Shelf Awareness. So, but yeah, this comes out in August 4th. So I'm kind of intrigued to start this one as well. Another book I'll be starting to read. It's a really big book. This is called After Oscar, The Legacy of a Scandal, by Merlin Holland. So it's all about Oscar Wilde. I think it's another biography. Just, I think it's a life biography, maybe not as much about the scandal, but let's see here. Oh, this is written by his only grandson. I did not know that, you guys. This is written by his only grandson. Okay, yeah, I'm reviewing this for the nonfiction section of Historical Novels Review, but this is a massive book. It's about 600 pages. So, yeah, I'll be working on this throughout the month of June. My review will be due at the end of June. So, After Oscar, yep. See, Oscar Wilde died in November 1900, exiled in Paris, his reputation in tatters, exhausted by scandal and prison life. But this is Merlin Holland is his only grandson, charts the extraordinary afterlife of the legendary writer and thinker, tracing the dramatic fluctuations in Wilde's posthumous reputation. So I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, obviously it's very biographical, but he's kind of going past that to look at just how later generations have grappled with Oscar Wilde, have either, embraced him or accepted or refuted him, kind of denigrated him, but lots of pictures in the center. So this is going to be interesting. Wow. Probably a lot of photos I have not seen before, but Oscar Wilde, I've got another book. I've got his short work. Is it pronounced Des Profundis, that he wrote from prison. I have that in folio edition, and I think I'd like to read that in conjunction with this big boy right here. So this is a book I'll be working on throughout June. And then for Historical Novels Review, where I am an editor, I am also reviewing a novel, which I think this one also will fit into June on the Range. So actually, I will have books that I can say, hey, these are the books I'm reading for June on the Range, and I will have finished them and written reviews about them. So that's fantastic. Oh, for any late arrivals, you guys, I was raving about this earlier. I am halfway through this book. I'm writing a review of it for Shelf Awareness, and this will be in my June on the Range video. The Beauty of the Days Gone by Jason Stone. And it's based on the life of Charles Goodnight, the cattleman, but also his companions, and just the depredations that people in the late 1860s out in West Texas, the Comanches were raiding liberally. You've got Quanah Parker showing up. You've got all these names from like Western history, the American West, just coming into play, and it's brutal. It's brutal. It's realistic, and it's told in this way that is so. At first, I was like, "You're going all over the place in the time span," but as I got into it, I realized he's letting a story unfold over many different places in time. It unfolds in 10 years after this raid on a camp where these two boys were abducted by the Comanches or the Kiowas. And then one was sold to the Comanches. And then you have Charles Goodnight in 1920 talking to his, I'll say his interlocutor. He's like a historian at the local college who's writing down a real life guy, J. Evetts Haley, I believe, who wrote a book about Charles Goodnight called Charles Goodnight, Cowman and Plainsman, or something like that. Anyway, so it's a fantastic book. I'm reading these wonderful Westerns right now, and I'm all for it. So just for like the late arrivals, keep an eye out for The Beauty of the Days Gone By. This is coming out July 7th from Grove Atlantic. Now, this book I believe is out right now. I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to read to you the dust jacket. It's called Now I Surrender. Translated by Natasha Wimmer. This is by Alvaro Enrique. Okay, it's put out by Riverhead Books. So here's, what are the odds? This book is also about a Native American raid. I'm so crazy because this book is really about like this boy that was taken and he kind of becomes what they call quote unquote Indianized into the culture of the Comanches. And now here's another book that I'm going to be reading about this. This says here, a woman's desperate flight from an Apache raid unfolds into a sweeping tale of the Mexico-U.S. border wars. Okay, so let's see. Orchestrated with a stunningly imagined cast of characters. And this is fun for me to read because this is what I get to look forward to, guys. Both historical and purely fictional. Now I Surrender radically recasts the story of how the West was quote unquote won. In the contested borderlands between Mexico and the United States, a woman flees into the desert after a devastating raid on her dead husband's ranch. A lieutenant colonel in service to the fledgling republic, sent in pursuit of cattle rustlers, discovers he's on the trail of a more dramatic abduction. Decades later, with political ambitions on the line, the American and Mexican militaries try to maneuver Geronimo, the most legendary of Apache warriors, into surrender. In our own day, a family travels through the region in search of a truer vision of the past. So I think this is going to be another time jump novel where it's part set in the past and then it goes to present day and maybe kind of captures those echoes from that earlier time. And it says here, part epic, part alt Western. Now I Surrender is Alvaro Enrique's most expansive and impassioned novel yet. I haven't read anything by him, so I don't know. It weaves past and present, myth and history into a searing elegy for a way of life that was, it's a very long sentence, for a way of life that was an incarnation of true liberty and an homage to the spark in us that still thrills to its memory. Okay, and this is our writer. Does anyone? Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it, David? Thanks for mentioning it. Thanks for saying so. Something you'd like to read, maybe? Yeah, I have not read this author's work at all, but I'm intrigued. Again, I've been in this zone where I'm just really eating up like Western history, Native American history, the wars. These two books right here are just kind of going to be like bookends to that, I think. This one is kind of really told through the lens of, even though I'm halfway through, so I'm not going to, spoil anything really. When I read the description earlier, it talks about how the boys were captured by the Kiowa. So you get to see, what assimilation looked like for white captives. But when it switches back to Charles Goodnight's storytelling, it's told through the lens of the Texans and how they interpreted these atrocities, because it was equal on both sides. Because there were the massacres by the Texans of the Kiowa, the Comanche, the other tribes in the area. So anyway, I will be reading that this month as well. And one more book, guys. This is another historical novel. Ladies in the audience might be interested in this one too. I'm reading this as research because I'll be interviewing the author for Book Browse. They have Book Browse Review has their own BookTube channel, and I've started doing video interviews for them, which has been kind of fun. I'll see if I can link their channel below if you're interested. And they're free to watch. So you get to see me somewhere else if you're interested. I've already interviewed 2 authors on that, their BookTube or YouTube page. The last one was just fantastic. I interviewed Eve Chung, who wrote Daughters of Shandong, and then her most recent novel, The Young Will Remember, which was set during the Korean War. Fantastic novel. Fantastic novel. And in fact, I keep meaning to promote that video on my social media, just so you guys know it's out there and you can watch that interview, because her novels are just amazing. Okay, so having said that, I'll be interviewing this author sometime in June. And so I want to read this and be well prepared. I'll be interviewing Michelle Collins Anderson, and this novel is called The Moonshine Women. This is from Kensington. She wrote an earlier book. In case you guys are aware of it, I guess this one got a lot of cover. The Flower Sisters. So this was like one of the first ones I think she wrote. They're not related. The 2 storylines are not related. I thought they were, because I'm like, oh my God, I've got to read 2 books in a matter of 2 weeks. It's like, no. But I'm glad they sent me a copy of this one. So I do plan on reading it, because it's kind of just set during Prohibition, the 20s, the flappers. I mean, that kind of stuff is so cool. And then we got set with The Moonshine Women, right? Yes, this is a Prohibition era historical novel set in the Ozarks. Oh, I'm catching some more comments now. Well, cool, Laverne. Yeah, you're going to love, if you're interested in Texas history, I think you'll want to get this novel when it comes out in July. Jason Stone, The Beauty of the Days Gone By. I will talk about it more in my June on the Range video as well. So back to The Moonshine Women. And I think this might be it. I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys might have. In the meantime, I feel so lonely without Bill here, but thanks for sticking around, guys. I don't feel so bad. The number has only dropped to 21. Someone just left again. So I've lost 4 people, but I feel a little bit loved. So, all right. So let me just read to you this description here. So every batch of strong moonshine has its own, and strong is uppercase. So I'm guessing that's the family name, Strong. Every batch of strong moonshine has its own special flavor, thanks to the secret ingredients that matriarch Liddy Strong adds to the barrels of fermenting corn mash. Whether a bucket full of golden peaches, that sounds delicious, actually, a ripe melon, or juicy jewel-toned berries, that extra something, that's what they wrote in the book copy. That extra something, is what makes the strong shine so prized and allows the family to survive after crop prices plummeted in the wake of the Great War. Each of the Strong sisters, too, is distinct. Stoic, steadfast Rebecca would rather be with her beloved farm animals or off hunting in the woods than socializing. Middle sister Elsie is kind-hearted, beautiful, and itching for a life more thrilling than the farm can offer. Jace, the youngest, is known far and wide as Shine, a name that suits her fiery personality and flaming red hair as much as her innate skill with a still. A nice rhyme there. Their father, Hiram, has been drowning himself in grief and liquor ever since his wife died. But the moonshine business is unforgiving, especially with Prohibition agents turning up in every creek and holler. When tragedy strikes, it falls to the strong women to keep the still running, the family together, and hope burning on the horizon. From the Ozark Mountains, edged in oak and pine, to the outlaw paradise of Hot Springs, Arkansas, where gangsters like Al Capone line the bar at the Southern Club, the sisters' quests for vengeance, healing, and love will drive them forward in search of a future as transformative and powerful as the purest strong moonshine. So that'll be a fun read. I'm hoping. I look forward to setting this up soon. I need to reach out to it's graduation season, so everyone's been kind of traveling. I've been talking to a lot of different publicists and authors about scheduling interviews, and Michelle was like, I'll be traveling for some graduations. So, but June will be the time frame. When is the two Native Comanche and Apache books coming out again? David, so I think you mean this one, right? The Beauty of the Days Gone By. This one comes out July 7th. Jason Stone from Grove Atlantic, or Atlantic Monthly Press, but that's an imprint of Grove Atlantic. You just type in the name of the book and it'll come up. And then Now I Surrender. I believe that one is already out. So let me just check right now while I'm writing or talking to you. Now I Surrender. That one came out. That came out in March. So that one is out right now, actually. So you can get that right now if you'd like. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, guys. That's where I'm at. So, yeah, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Gosh, how do I end this without Bill's happy reading? It's been an hour and a half. I can thank you guys so much for being here. And we'll try to do one again soon. I don't want to wait another 2 months because, there's a lot cooking. There's a lot cooking here at this channel, at Bill's channel. And anyway, if you guys don't have any more questions for me, I guess I'll sign off, run some Sunday errands, and get back to reading, which is what I do. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, let me know if you'd like to do a Q&A live stream or something. I've never really offered a Q&A before. I'm like, I'm not that interesting, folks. I work, I read, I write. What else is there to say? But you never know. I mean, live streaming seems to be the way of things these days, but I don't think I have a lot to offer in that area. I like to talk to people. I like having Bill on. I like chatting with you guys. Christina's all about live streams. So Christina, I might have to do it just for you. Yeah, let me think on that. Let me think about what some other things I could have ready to go to talk about during a live stream, because, when you're on a live stream, it's like all eyes are on you and you've got to be coming up with stuff, and you don't want to have that awkward cricket silence, as it were. Oh, John, you're really late. Yes, I know. And I have to go, and thanks, guys. John, let me just tell you, Bill had to leave early for a birthday party. So what we're going to try to do is schedule another one very soon where we have an uninterrupted block of time. Because when Bill and I get together on here, we can just talk for 2 hours goes by like that. But John, make sure you just watch the replay and you'll catch Bill for a good hour. And how long was he here, guys? About an hour and 20 minutes, I'd say. And then he had to jump off, but I thought I'd stay on and just show you a few more of the books that I'm about to start reading. And like I said, they're not comprehensive. I have other things on Kindle, which I was trying to look up my Kindle stuff for you guys, but they're like PDFs with no covers. And I'm reading a lot of fiction. I'm about to read a very, I don't even know what this book's about. I think this is like a science. This is like a specialty piece of history. I'm going to be reading something called the Bateau. Woo, look at that effect. You guys, I'm sepia toned. That is fantastic. Okay, I'm learning how the light works in here. The Bateau Railway, which is like a little keyhole history about a portage. Something all about I accept the wildest assignments on my freelance book reviewing. At first, I was like, the Bateau Railway. Okay, this might sound interesting. The subtitle is The Untold Story of Asa Weller's Critical Bateau Transport Service on the Quint Portage. So it's like, I think along the Canadian border or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so I read a lot of different things. Oh, I read this book. I don't have the cover right now. A Heart That's True by Mark Gillerman. Yes, Old West tones for June on the Range. Ooh. Angela, you are going to love my thumbnail for June on the Range, you guys. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. Heart That's True was a really, I really like this book. And to me, it almost felt like a young adult book, something that your kids could read and really enjoy it, about two Native American children in 1912 sent off to an Indian boarding school in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And one of the boys there meets Jim Thorpe, the athlete, the Olympic athlete. And he becomes kind of like a mentor to him. And at the same time, there's this hybrid wolf dog back in Montana where they left from, who kind of imprinted on Joseph, the young boy, as they were kind of coming through town to head to the railway to go to Pennsylvania. This black pup, just kind of picked Joseph out of all the other children. And so they had this connection, and then Joseph went on his way, and then this pup grows up to be this wolf. He accepts his call of the wild, and there's some bad guys in here, like some bounty hunters are like hunting for the wolf, who they call Big Black. So, but nothing is like, there's nothing really sad-ish in here. And then it's like the round trip journey between the kids realizing we want to go back home. We don't want to be in Pennsylvania. We want to be back where our home is, out in Montana. That's where they're from. So a fantastic story. And I wrote a review of it for Forward Reviews magazine. So that should be coming out soon. There goes my autofocus. Anyway, like I said, I read a lot of PDFs too, for a lot of my review work. So there you have it. But I just wanted to kind of cover the bones of what I'm looking at right now, as far as, come on guys, with the bones of like nonfiction history. And in this case, yeah, I've got some fiction, but it's like Western. So, and we're right on the cusp. But tomorrow is June 1st, which, you know what? I might have to film my, my June on the Range video right after this. So, hey, keep an eye out. I'll have a new video coming out here in the next day or two, talking a lot more about these books. So I was going to tease the big over 1,100 page book that I picked up for June on the Range, but I want you to come back. So look for that crazy, funky thumbnail that announces June on the Range. And I'm going to pick out a couple like paperbacks too, as well. But yeah, we'll see. I'm going to reveal to you a book I just decided to buy, and it's going to take me a while to read it because it's 1,100 plus pages. Okay, so now we're at an hour and 43 minutes, guys. So thanks for joining me here. Thanks for joining me and Bill. Stay tuned for more videos. I think we are going to be doing hopefully, I need to check with Bill. We might be doing a book chat, and Brian. We might do a book chat wrap up of Battle Cry of Freedom, but only if they want to. We are really enjoying this buddy read. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or let me know in the comments below. And after I post this goes up. But the next book, and we ran out of time. The next book we're buddy reading together, me, Bill, and Brian, is the new book on the Lewis and Clark expedition. It's called This Vast Enterprise by Craig Fehrenbacher. I was really tickled that I got an email from Craig, the author, and he said, I saw your video and you were mentioning the book, and if there's anything I can help with. I said, hey, we're going to be doing a buddy read of your book. And we're going to be filming a book chat after that. I said, would you be interested also in maybe coming on to, my channel for an interview, and or if it were to work out, maybe he could even pop into our StreamYard book chat. Wouldn't that be cool? So let me talk to Bill about that and see if he'd be open for that. And if we can even schedule it with the author so that he could just pop into the studio and answer questions directly from us, from you. That could be cool. Yeah, it is neat, isn't it? Thank you. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Christina. Thank all of you out there. Orange woman, John. Oh, I'm only going to let you say that because I know you don't mean it. I try not to be orange. We got a diffuser. Martina's trying to help me with this light from my window, which has blasted me out a few times. She goes, that is unacceptable. You need to have, she's always trying to hook me up with the proper tools that I need to make an enjoyable, viewing podcast for you guys or whatnot. So hopefully I think it's helped a lot, actually. So let me know if it looked good to you guys. All right. So with that, having said that, stay tuned. There's things happening at the channel and there's things happening in the background, and we'll bring you more history related good stuff in the future. So in the meantime, everyone out there, enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Just have fun, be with your loved ones, hang out with your pets. Yes. Oh, you don't even know the half of it. I know. And yes, I said I would stop buying books, and, I'm trying to get rid of books. It's just almost impossible for me to not, with what I do with book reviewing and then the channel, and then hearing of new books coming out. I'm like, I have to let people know about these books, so but I'm looking at giving more stuff away. I'm looking at filming some maybe some unhauls maybe too. I've got stuff I need to donate for sure. Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard, Christina. It's just like I can't not get new titles when that's what this is all about. Everything I do here, also my book reviewing, but having said that, I do need to have a shoot where, and I mean a shoot like a CHUTE, where, books come in, but some books got to come out, because otherwise, what are we doing here? You're just gonna collapse under the weight of all of these books. So yes, but she is gracious, and she's always trying to help me in whatever way she can. And yeah, if you go to check out my YouTube, although that YouTube banner is so sticky, it's a sticky thing, that YouTube banner. It's so hard to size it when you have a logo or a banner created. It's almost impossible to get this thing to fit. So it's kind of cut off. However, if you go to my Facebook page, my History Shelf Facebook page, you'll see the brand new kind of banner that I have for the History Shelf, and I love it. And, Martine kind of put that together. So thank you, Martine. Yeah. All right, David, let's talk. Let's see, any Western books you want to sell on the Old West or native? I'll help you get out of trouble. I'm going to tell you something. You will buy them. Okay. Let's talk. The thing is I want to send out more books, and I was sending out some giveaway stuff, and I don't mind it when I can do it. As you listen, times are tough for everyone, but with postage, I'm happy. I have a label printer here now, so I can actually make labels here, and then just go to the post office and drop packages off to you guys. I just need a little bit of help with, some postage. That's the only reason why, if you notice on my channel, I have put up a little link that says, buy me a coffee. I couldn't change the text to read, buy me a stamp. Because I do have so many books. I could be mailing out books to you guys. I could be mailing out finished copies, advanced reader copies, if you don't mind those either. That's a lot of money. And so I just need a little bit to offset that. So David, if I can put together a stack of books on those themes, I could take a couple pictures. Tell you what, my email address is on my channel, my business email address under the About tab. And you just click on it, email me so I have your email address. I can send you some pictures. And then if we can just talk about, hey, can you chip in $5-10, depending on how much the postage costs to ship these to you. Because the thing is like the heavier these boxes get, even if I were to mail them just media mail, do you know that they've raised the price on media mail as well? So it's just ridiculous. I mean, ugh. No wonder everyone's kind of going to electronic now, but who doesn't love a physical book? I'll never get tired of physical books. It's just the only way I really want to read. I'm forced to read for review work electronically, but when I can, I like to get back to the good old, I love physical books. I'm always smelling my books. It's a tactile thing. Anyway, David, sounds good. I'll look for your email. To everyone else, the 20 odd folks that hung around, thank you so much. You made me feel good today. And he's already got it. Okay, great. Yeah, so just know that that's why I put that link up there. I am not like money grubbing or anything like that. I have to find a way to pay for if I'm going to be doing another expense, because basically I'm working 2 jobs right now. So, it's just kind of I need a little bit of help with the postage. So thank you for that. But I know everyone out there is struggling, so I'm with you. I hear you. But if I can spread a little joy and send you some books, and if it's less than $5, I'm not even going to ask for anything. It's just when it gets to be like I'm sending you a big package, that looks kind of funny. I didn't mean to. That was an unfortunate gesture. Okay. I'm being silly now. So, all right, guys, love you. Mean it. We'll see you next time here on the History Shelf. Go and watch the replay and go and see what Bill has to say, because he's outstanding. He's my buddy. All right, guys, love you all. Take care out there, and we'll see you next time. Bye.